Good morning. Had interesting times this morning. The A14 was actually at a standstill, and I was unsure whether or not we were actually going to get here when we first drove onto it. Drove on and just no movement at all. Interesting. So we're now just a little bit behind because we're just getting set up this morning, but we'll be good to go in minutes few. And fortunately, today's workout will manage to incorporate a bit of a warm-up into the workout, which is just what everyone wants. It's also very bright in here today, because I've put up some new lights. There's even more lights blinding everyone. There's Kay. So everyone wants to see. Don't need much room. Oh, yeah. Today's workout is we are going to start with death by burpees. Easy day. Okay. All you need is yourself. Okay, and a timer. Obviously, we're going to be shouting out. How it works is we are going to do on the first minute 1 burpee, on the second minute 2, then 3, then 4. We're going to go on until we can't complete the required amount of burpees in a minute, and we're going to go for a maximum of 20 minutes. Okay? Yeah, good times. And then we're just going to run through a little bit of stuff with Kettlebell, just a few like shoulder presses and stuff, different techniques and stuff to look at. Okay, we'll just be fairly chilled out at the end, which you can complete with a dumbbell, and there are obviously some options we can do with just body weight. Okay, so next going to take you through a little warm up. I'm going to find my coffee.
Still in the car, maybe. Okay, guys. Just open this up. Starting things off. Rolling those arms back. Just get them a little bit mobile before we're going to go do death by burpees. And bring them forward. There's Puppy Go. Oh, you're going to come back forward. There you go. And one forward, one back. Nice, then hands up by your chest, and we're just going to rotate, dropping that back arm back. Get a nice rotation in the trunk, but you want to make sure that hips are staying facing forward. So squeeze that glute as you rotate around. Nice, guys. Then I want you to go through 5 walkouts. So starting off standing fully extended, then rolling it down, getting attacked by spiders, walking it out, and then bringing it back in. So go through that 5 times. That should hopefully get you remembering what the burpee movement is. Okay, so that should just stretch out the hamstrings a little bit as well. So we'll just go through 10 leg swings, just to really get the blood pumping around. once we've done those, we're just going to go through 10 squat jumps as well. Because obviously at the end of the burpee, you've got to have that lovely little jump and clap above the head. So just go through 10 squat jumps, making sure that when you are jumping back up, you're squeezing those glutes at the top and you're not letting those knees push in. So keep those knees pushed out. Little jump. Still hunting for his coffee. I said he's still hunting for your coffee.
It's the best thing about the traffic earlier, right? I'm still going on about this. But as we get to our junction, it clicked.
It just disappears.
So we drove on at Sainsbury's and it was a standstill, like completely utter standstill. And I was like, oh, this is not good, okay? And then obviously we started getting in, feeding in, sort of like moved in waves. So we weren't moving, we weren't actually at like full-blown standstill. And then as soon as we turned off, like it cleared and everyone just started going off, like, what was this for? What was this even for?
Who knows? Anyways, they should be nice and warmed up now. I didn't know if they would actually want to do some burpees in the warm-up, so we did walk out some squat jumps, which is very similar to a burpee.
Right. Well, I reckon the best thing to do is just get into this without even thinking about
Rip
it.
it off like a plaster.
Yeah, and by the time we get 5 minutes in, we'll be having a workout. So we are going to start in just about a minute. I'm going to have one more sip of coffee. So that's a good idea for starting this.
Oh. Looks so cute.
Just going to get Okay, as you can see, he's just got ready for the workout. That's him. Right. I reckon we start. Woo! 10 seconds. Go! Right, that's the first one done. That's the first one I'm doing like that, and the only one I'm doing like that, by the way.
Can you do a burpee? What do you think of a burpee?
Can you talk, mate? Sit. Sit. Down. Up. Yay! Away. Down. Up. Wait. Sit. Down. Up.
20 seconds. 10. Three, 2, 1, 2.
Tell me I woke up for shit.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm looking at massive power scaffold.
Yeah.
10 seconds. 3 reps this time. Just in case anyone's lost you. Right, and go.
Bless you.
No, I'm joking. Okay. 10 seconds. 4 reps. Go.
Just hang a little bit.
10 seconds. 2, 1, 5 reps.
Okay, we're now. Woo!
It's 25% of the workout done. It's not.
Okay. 10 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Go.
So, after 10 minutes, we've done 55 reps. So we know. Then the workout starts. Yeah, so we complete 20 minutes. We've done 210 burpees. Ten seconds. Doing 7 this time. 3, 2, 1, go!
Oh, God. What is this cardiovascular stuff?
These are
Ooh, shorts.
2, and 8 reps. Good. Good. 10 seconds. And play. For 9 reps. Okay, 10 seconds. 3, we're on 10 now, boy. Go. That's halfway, or 25%. Okay, 10 seconds. 3, go, 11 reps. Go back. Two, and let's go. Thirteen's next. Then 10 seconds. 3. Let's go. Oh. 10 seconds. Let's go. Ten seconds. Right, 15. Right, cut. Time. Ah. I'll do my token reps. Why are you doing token reps now?
You 10 seconds. 3. Go. Done 17 now. We're still with it. Four. 15 seconds. 10.
2, and go for your 18. Boy. 30 seconds.
What?
30 seconds.
Seconds.
There's mine.
3, 2, 1. 19 burpees. Woo. If you still go.
Not first thing in the morning like that.
20 seconds. 10. 3, 2, 1.
Last one or last minute of rest.
Seconds. 10. 3, 2, 1.
Time. Good work. Well done if you made that all the way through 20 minutes. It's doable. It's a lot, like I say, 210. I tapped out 15 minutes, so that was 120 burpees at that point, which to be fair is a lot of burpees for me, so not a big fan, not great at them, not super quick, and they just kind of took their toll first thing this morning. I think just especially in the shoulders and lower back got quite tight pretty quick, so I say a bit more of a warm-up, as in walking around in the day. Just general moving might help some of you guys that when you're doing this later. Right, so I said we're going to play around with some kettlebells and dumbbells and stuff, and this is especially good if the kettlebell you have at home, you find it too heavy to press overhead, okay, or you sort of like, you probably be able to need to clean the weight, so hopefully you guys haven't got too heavy a kettlebell. And same sort of deal with a dumbbell as well. If you haven't got one of those, we're just going to look at shoulder pressing. So what I want to do is to have you just work on push-ups. So when we go through this, we'll be doing 5 on one arm, 5 on the other. So that'll just be just a nice 10 push-ups. Okay. When you do those, focus on keeping a nice tight core, tapping that chest on the floor at the bottom, not letting your back arch out, going into extension like so, with a nice neutral spine, nice and tall as we go through those reps. Squeeze the abs and squeeze the glutes, and don't let that back position, okay, so your natural curve in your spine, don't let that position change as we go through those reps, okay, so And then I'll move some stuff around. So I'm just trying to locate. Okay, so let's say you've got a big kettlebell sitting at home and you want to press it. Okay? So, we used to train had this. We basically, like, you didn't have all the increments that you do now with kettlebells. Okay, so we had 16, 24, and 32. Right? They were the weights we had. We're going from 24 to 32 was quite a big jump. Okay, so we press the 24. Now, when you get stronger, obviously we go through smaller rep schemes. Okay, because it trains our body not only in the strength portion, so we're using as many of our muscle fibers as we can to make that press. Okay, but also our central nervous system, so our ability to recruit those muscle fibers. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. So not only do we need strong muscles, but we need to give our body the ability to recruit all of those muscle fibers at the same time to be able to lift heavy weights. Okay, so that's basically what you're trying to do when you're doing those smaller rep schemes at a heavier weight. Okay, you're training your central nervous system, you're increasing your body's ability to use its muscle fibers and to use your strength. Okay, so if you had a 16 and a 24 and you want to press the 24 overhead, well, doing more reps with a 16, all it's going to do is increase your muscular endurance and not necessarily your ability to recruit all of those muscle fibers at once. So at some point, we need to make the jump and go heavier. We need to just work out how we're actually then going to incorporate that into the workout. So we've got a couple of options. So I've got my 24 here. Okay, if I've got that on the shoulder, I think, okay, so I can press the 24, but I'm going to talk, so obviously I want to hit. The first thing we can do is just shoulder lifts. Okay, so this just helps build that strength in our shoulder with the kettlebell. So I'm standing in a rack position, got that hand is underneath my chin here, and all I'm doing is just lifting that elbow up above my shoulder. Actually surprisingly hard. Okay, so if you've got that kettlebell, you want to be able to press it overhead. That is your first go-to exercise. Clean your kettlebell onto your shoulder, lift that elbow up above the shoulder. Okay, so what I want to do is I want you to grab your kettlebell. I'm just going to do 5 of those on each arm. Hopefully it's a nice heavy kettlebell or dumbbell you've got sitting around at home. Well, that's what you need if you want to press it overhead. So I can get the 40 and try and number. Basically what I just explained is how Pavel's greasing the groove makes you stronger without actually building muscle. So your body just gets better at doing a set movement or recruiting those muscle fibers, okay? So you don't actually need to get stronger. So for example, something like pull-ups, we talk about greasing the groove. Push-ups, we talk about greasing the groove. And all we're doing when we do those exercises is basically just making our body better at recruiting those muscle fibers to perform those exercises. Okay, just remember, I need some 5 on the side. So do another 5 of those on each arm, and then we'll move on to our next exercise, okay, to help us press those heavier weights. Yes. Thanks. Okay, so next thing, like doing pull up or push up, is a negative. So what we need to do is just get the weight overhead, okay, before we start the exercise. Now for that, all we're going to do is use the other hand and push the kettlebell up overhead. Then when we bring it down, it's a nice controlled descent back into the shoulder and all the way down into that rack position, okay? That's where the movement's going to start. So we need to work down all the way into that position. So clean it up. Take the other hand, drive and press the kettlebell up overhead, and then from here, just a nice controlled descent back down all the way into the rack. Take up the other hand, press it up overhead, let go, support, bring it down, control it. Just going to do 3 of these. Get a feeling the left arm's going to be a little bit more fruity here. That was actually surprisingly tough on my right side. Got my thumb stuck then. Oh. And then basically your 2 exercises to pressing heavier kettlebells over your head. Good. Obviously when we did those presses at the end, we were using a push press to help get the kettlebell up. That's obviously going to make it a little bit easier. But a push press is a secret leg exercise. So again, doing lots of push press isn't necessarily going to make your strict press that much better. Okay. Case in point on that is Jack, Coach Jack, who has a very mean push press and jerk. Okay, but his strict press is not in relation, let's say, to that push press and push jerk. So if you looked at those 3 numbers, you'd think you had 2 different athletes there. Okay, if you just looked at his strict press and then push press, and that's just because his ability to generate that power, okay, with his legs and hips and arms all at the same time. So it still is an arm exercise, but it's putting the whole thing together, and timing is incredibly good, and it just shows how much more weight you can lift with that particular exercise over your actual strict press. Okay, so using the push press to get the kettlebell up is good, but it's not necessarily going to increase that shoulder strength, which is where that lift up, okay, and the negatives come into play. Yep, so use those at home with your home equipment. I know we've only got a few days left now. We open the gym again on Wednesday. But obviously it's just something you can do if it sits there. When you're bored in the evening, you can just go, I'll just do 5 lifts off each time I walk past it in the evening or something. Cool. That is today, taking care of burpees and a little bit of shoulder pressing. So enjoy that. If you're getting on pretty well with that at home, continue. Do a few more sets before you wrap up. I know the session's only been 40 minutes so far, so we've probably got another 15 minutes or so that we can squeeze out of you doing that, but I'm not going to stand here just finish mine off in a sec, because it's not the most exciting video. We'll see you again tomorrow live, and then we'll see you on Wednesday in person. Co's very excited about it. This is how excited. I stopped. Can you show everyone how excited you are? Yeah. That excited. There you go. So yeah, so we'll see you again in person on Wednesday, and it's going to be fantastic. All right, cool. Have a great day, guys, and we look forward to seeing you back in the gym soon.